history of both Wilj and SloWye, you have to give the major advantage to Bravado in general. And Triton has been very fun to watch, and Doru hasn't had to do too much in with March. Those two guys have kind of just been hanging out, chilling, and letting the teammates do all the work. So overall, right now for Bravado, business as usual. Don't get too complacent. Don't get too crazy. Still give enough respect to where you're not completely chucking the game plan in the bin. But as long as they play like they did on Ancient, they'll have no problems here on Nuke.
Yeah, I want to throw a quick stat just to kind of paint the disparity. Doru, bottom of ADR on his team for Bravado, 67.7. Top of ADR for VYBN was Sheer, the sub, at 61.2.
Jeez.
The lowest performer was still like a solid 0.5 HLTV rating or thereabouts above the top of VYBN. So to say this is a comprehensive outclass might not even do the situation justice. We are on the pistol round. We know VYBN, they've swept both pistol rounds in this series thus far, and they are on the favored side, CT side. They have an interesting setup with these dualies outside of the hut. They will work for one, and Wipeout and Ruben will combine for two more. Ruben, a pair from heaven, in fact, and again, it's VYBN finding luck on the pistol rounds, finding a solid setup. It's a convincing rebuke on the A site to start things off with that victory, but Bravado, again, their deagles are shocking. Their deagles are scary. If I had to guess, they're going to go for a deagle buy once more in round number 2.
I would have to concur. Maybe a Tech 9 too. March actually going for a glass cannon scout, which is a bit of an interesting call. But overall, be the deagles that really should be doing the brunt of the work. 2 M4s, a FAMAS, and double MP9s. Helmets on 3 though, so those players will not be as vulnerable to the SMG. Slow and steady though is the round. Ruben has to be careful not to get plucked apart, because you do not want to donate an A1S into the hands of Triton or Wilj. And I like this smoke wall deep already too. Good idea from Bravado just to close the gap and tuck into secret, get down the tunnels, and have some fun with it.
Have some fun with it. They're going for a more interesting call, though, wrapping in towards the garage is SloWye, and again, the deagles, they're going to shine through. He finds the opening onto Dizzy, and that rifle up above is probably recoverable as well. I don't think there's anybody else challenging outside towards hell or heaven. Sheer, he'll make inroads elsewhere, specifically towards Trophy. And VYBN will set up on this A site 2 on top of hut, probably going to boost up in towards heaven. Sheer will sheer away Wilj. Good kill on a heavy hitter towards the trophy room side of things. VYBN, they aren't panicking yet. Damage is coming through. Good kill for Wipeout and Sheer. Dyvo as well, finding another. It's the final player, Triton, and he cannot last for long. Ruben takes him down. VYBN, it's taken quite a while, but they do finally convert a pistol round victory.
First map was a warm-up. Doesn't count. VYBN, 2-round lead for the first time in this series. They'll be up against Glocks now, so it better be a 3-round lead. Triton does invest into the dig. Bit of utility spread apart, but that's just for doing some chip damage. 1, maybe 2 kills if they're lucky. That's all that Bravado can hope for. Triton shoots one down range, doesn't connect it. Ruben does get the opening onto Wilj. And Ruben's definitely stepping up big time here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what happened there? Dyvo was flanking in lobby. He knifes away March. Sheer and Dizzy take down SloWye and Triton. I thought it was a cool play from Bravado. Actually, they do get the bomb plant, so that is cool. Better than I would have expected. Again, they went for a fast set play out the door with the bomb on the back of the first player. He gets down the vents. Amidst the chaos and pandemonium, he finds the bomb plant, but it's tit for tat, as VYBN also find a big boon in a knife kill in towards the lobby. That's $1,500 extra in the bank. That gives him a little bit of extra cash. Ruben can now go for the big green in round 4 of Nuke. SloWye as well also goes for an op of his own. And Bravado, they're finally on even footing. It took a while to get here, but this is the first real opportunity they've had to get a round on the board.
CT side Nuke, though, proven to be a little bit better for VYBN, which is a good sign, making this one a lot more competitive in the early going. I'm glad it's not a repeat of Ancient. Hoping for something a little bit more from VYBN. Give us a little bit something to sweat about. Shot goes out. Doesn't connect, but Wilj now knows there's a man towards ramp. Ruben gets dropped by SloWye in the meantime. And good rotation around by Wilj. Sprays away. Dizzy will not get cleared, but comes up empty-handed. Oh my gosh, Nate. Too many targets.
Too many targets. Got Dizzy. Spun his cross around a little too quickly. Doru, the final nail in the coffin onto dyvo, who was lurking outside the squeaky door. That's a very quick round on the board for Bravado. Very solid lurk in towards the ramp. That was my big key takeaway. The op duel was won outside shore, as that first op shot was goaded in by the smokes. But that lurk in the ramp, very timely, perfectly played and perfectly read, really cemented the round in favor of Bravado. 1-3 now. They're on the board. VYBN will have another buy at hand, including the op for Ruben. But Bravado's play thus far, their quick set plays, their individual and team coordination just seems to be so good. VYBN, though, it's time for some team coordination of their own. They boost up outside top credit card, and that is what the opper needed. Ruben wins the op duel this time around, and Bravado are on the back foot.
Wilj made noise on that drop, right?
I think he was tagged a little bit, so he should have at least gotten that sound cue. Yeah, Dizzy already knows. He's rotating around towards top of the silo area. I've been covering all their bases as they should. Bravado, though, they have crossed down to secret 3 players here, and of course that one lurking in towards control. Player up top, so I believe it's dyvo. It's Dizzy up top.
Map control, Nate.
Dizzy has his work cut out for him, Boggs.
Yeah, VYBN's just giving up all the map. It's so much outside control where Bravado can kind of do whatever they want. They're trusting entirely to Ruben to hold out her yard, and it's too much for one man to do, op or not. Wilj with the opening, good flash by Doru, and there's also a player known towards ramp. Mollied and smoked away. Rotations are going to come down, double ramp, double vents. Bravado are now in positions to hold this down. Marge with that opening tool against Wipeout. Wilj does get blindsided, but in comes Triton to bring this to a 2v2. March with another one, having a chance to shine this time after not really having much to do on Ancient. Ruben op 1v2, swaps to the rifle, but it's not of a kit, about half the clock gone, and realizes it would be folly to go for this one. Just plays the exits instead. Bravado 2 rounds straight now on T side. Nuke starting to get things a little bit smoother, but again, Nate, the thing is, it's just Bravado winning aim duels, having good flashes to take map control, good utility to take the map control given to them, and just methodically taking the site.
Yeah, I think their main losses in that round were due to timings. They had a very good execute on the site, very good read of the situation. They caught Dizzy up top for nothing. Cheer towards the ramp, found one, and that player in the vents found a timing onto the double doors, but beyond that, nothing going the way of VYBN. And that saved op short gives them something in this round, but they don't buy around it. They had no money in the bank. It's going to be USP surrounding, and of course that does not instill confidence. Bravado should have a third on the board. They should have a tied ball game, and from there, the sky is the limit.
Already the opening pick goes the way of Bravado, but it was against one of those USPs, so it's not exactly unexpected. Ruben taking a very aggressive peek through vending machines, looking for an opening. But he's not going to find anything. Bravado taking it slow and steady. I wouldn't say they're necessarily playing slow, though. They're just kind of moving at their own pace. It's not like a slow round necessarily where they're just stationary for most of it. There's players working around, taking map control, and just clearing out all the angles. It's very methodical, very much crossing other teams, dotting other eyes, and once the pushes come through, they'll just take advantage of that. Wipeout goes for another one. Drop by Wilj. Ruben low on health. dyvo outside and caught. And where's that lurk of Triton? Where is Triton? And will he find Ruben? That's the question. Can that op save into the next round?
Spotted. It's done. Wilj takes him down. He's in all the way towards CT spawn. 3-3. No op saved. No op grabbed either for Bravado, might I add. And VYBN, what is the buy? They can buy M4s, Kevlar, and a little bit of utility. That is what they're going to elect to go for. 2 M4s, maybe if a Moss to really get that full utility on a player or two. Ruben actually seems to be on the wrong side of the equation. He went for a deagle. He does invest into full armor and a FAMAS, but that deagle really hamstrings his utility. Already worrying cracks showing for VYBN on map 2.
Is this really far from what we expected, though? That's the other thing. After what Bravado showcased on Ancient, the map pick of VYBN, it just seemed like Nuke was almost a formality. It's a good opening for Wipeout onto Wilj. SloWye tries to trade it back, but Sheer's able to survive that fight. That's now a double man advantage for VYBN, something to build off of here.
Big boom. Find that double ding on the FAMAS to open things up towards the vent side of things. Second secured as well. Bravado, though, they still have 3 players near full HP, and Triton was a menace on map 1. Can it be a menace in secret here on map 2? Yes is the answer. Finally, some inroads for Bravado. There's still 2 players lurking in lobbies while they barely miss Ruben going down the vents. And dyvo lurking in towards Hut takes a lot of damage, but he wins that duel. Triton has to bail his team out in a big way. He'll find the first in the vents. Duru finds the second towards the door, or towards Mini, excuse me. Somehow they've made this an even footing in the post plant. They'll secure it. Triton now towards the vents. Sure, he's known, but he has support and he has full HP, more importantly. Sheer has 19 HP. Timings, everything. Sheer, very lucky to win it. This is now doable for VYBN. 2 versus 1. Doru on the back of the site. Swings. Spots one. Doesn't win it cleanly, though. He still lives. Doru swinging in. Finds the first. The second is known. Dizzy dances around. Double dink with the M4. Does get it in. VYBN do regain a tenuous lead. 4-3 as the 10-second defuse comes through. And Boggs, we do have a more contentious map on our hands.
A much more contentious map. Good showing from VYBN on a gun round here. Locking things down. That's their first gun round victory now. They can chalk that up. A very good result. Yeah, they get a little bit of lady luck on their side with a double ding on the FAMAS, but then that fight by Sheer, that was good composure to contain that fight, not let it get out of control, and win it. No panic at all. Gets the job done. The sub having some big impact here for VYBN. So we get into the middle portions of map number 2, pick of Bravado. Bravado, they're looking for 6-7 rounds out of the ZAF. They should have no trouble on their CT side, at least theoretically. Pistol rounds always going to be in flux, though. But here's the thing. You cannot count Bravado out of any round. Eagles or guns. Hell or high water. Sheer, though, flashed in by Dizzy. That's a good combo play by VYBN. Rushing down is Triton, but the nade plus the spray damage catches him off. Over-aggressiveness now causing the fall of Bravado, as Sheer will triple down. Not just a one dip, not just a double dip, a triple dip. And dyvo gets the last. A clean victory for VYBN. Bravado, it's timeout time. You've lost the plot.
We have lost the plot. VYBN, a very good round there. Good solid flash for the player secret to peek. And I love the micro play as well from Sheer. Again, he is the substitute for Natural. And he is doing well for himself, well for his team. A shining star. He has 10 kills and 5 deaths. Found the first with the flash. Yeah, a natural fit. Very well done from him. Again, finding the first, the nade on the fadeaway, and then the micro play to cross back into the corner. Totally unexpected to give him the third. Bravado, do you have another buy? Another chance? VYBN are beginning to stabilize, beginning to build a half for themselves on this CT side. If it is a CT-sided map, but they're already showing us more promise than they did on Ancient.
A lot more promise. It feels like Nuke should be a map they're picking, not Ancient. I mean, they look comfortable here. They look like they have good positioning, good spacings on the rotation, good adjustments outside, too. They were getting punished for that a few rounds ago. They've made the adjustment to take some more control towards outer yard. Sheer, though, caught off guard, up on top of the boxes. It's a good distance clear. Bravado, we're going to overlook it for a minute, but they don't. Dizzy tries to peek out their single door. Doesn't even get the singular kill. Okay, Doris. You know, it probably would have been faster if you just stood still for that one, buddy.
I don't know, that was funny. That was definitely a little bit of some comedic relief. SloWye drops Wipeout. dyvo, though, tit for tat. Answer and response towards control room. to keep things contentious and manageable. They are still on the back foot 2 versus 3, but this is a heck of a lot easier. In fact, they might even save if it was a 2 versus 4 instead. Ruben towards the ramp is looking for the opening with the op. No one's back silo. It looks like they're both back towards the halls instead. Wilj, he is actually back silo. He will not win the duel, but he does a heck of a lot of damage. 1 HP finished off by SloWye. And dyvo now, he was known to be towards control. He has come out. He is smoking down below, but Doru hiding all the way back side of B beheads dyvo. 4-5, Bravado keeping this contentious, keeping it within 1. And I think the CT economy has finally gotten away from them. They do not have the money to justify an investment for every player. Sheer, in fact, is on a double save, so they're going to take this time out, take this tactical moment to talk things through, because whereas a lot of players can't force fully, Sheer's on a double save, so something has to change.
Yeah, or they just have Sheer on a weaker buy in the next round, which I think is going to be the case. Sheer's been over towards ramp, so you could get away with a mag 7 or a shotgun play over there. It's not impossible. Deagle, half buy for dyvo. So it looks like the half buy is going to be the case for VYBN. Sheer will invest nothing. Bravado 1 round away from tying it up at 5 apiece. Once they get to 6, mission accomplished. Everything from then on is just bonus. They're going to look for more than just enough. They want surplus rounds. Want it all.
It looks like the other game, Nixu versus DNMK, is also very similar to this one. It was 16-1 map 1, if you recall, in favor of Nixu. It's now 5-3 in favor of DNMK, so very similar state of affairs on both streams here. The Deagle of dyvo in this one, though, is the opener. Triton doubles down in response. Looking for yet another on site. He finds Ruben. The player towards mini might finally drop him. No, Wilj covers his teammate, saves Doru from a certain death, and that leaves Wipeout outside alone. And it looks like SloWye might even expect it. He's holding in towards the door. Wipeout will clear it, but the op of SloWye scopes in perfectly, finds the kill, and ties us up 5 apiece. VYBN, though, they should have a bye in round number 11 and another chance to steal away the lead yet again.
It's a great chance to steal away the lead here for Bravado. But VYBN have done very well to hold on to this lead on Nuke so far. They've been very hard to unseat. A UMP and a glass cannon op, though. It's far from ideal. No utility at all for Ruben. Every ounce of cash for the big green gun. And Wilj is already down the vents. Just full-on vent drop into the backlines. Yes, it's known. Yes, it's expected. But Ruben might just be taking the bait, creeping all the way up. Gonna get blindsided here. Messy fight by Wilj, but wins that one. Timing's awkward for everybody. Wipeout walking through squeaky door. Wasn't there anymore, but neither is Wipeout.
He's not. 3 versus 5. dyvo has to come in huge towards this old vents area. He's in front of it. His position is known. He will fall away. Again, a bunch of players barreling down in his direction. He'll tag the player events, does finish it. A second secured as the ire of Bravado is drawn towards heaven instead. Triton will double down, but Sheer with the UMP finds one and the op as well. He tries for the wallbang, doesn't secure it, and he's caught with a nade in hand. March finds the frag. 6 secured for Bravado, but that round was very touch and go. VYBN, they invested it all, and it does not pan out as Bravado take away the lead 6-5. Boggs, I gotta say, Boggs, I did not know that Bravado had a sticker in game. It's quite a dated one.
Yep. 2014.
It does look nice. It's a 2014, 2015 sticker. It's very old. I think it's even before my time, but it's definitely nice.
Before my time, for sure.
Good shot from SloWye, answered by the Deagle and the Mag 7. dyvo finding 2 1-deags. Mag 7 lurking around is also very deadly, but Wilj, seen a lot of double kills for both him and Triton in this one. That round is no different. It leaves Dizzy alone. This was a half buy for VYBN. Keep that in mind. We're saving, and Dizzy wants to make it expensive. Even in these rounds where VYBN are on the back foot through and through, they have made these rounds expensive. It has been a very, very big awakening from VYBN in every round, regardless of investment.
Yeah, they've looked significantly better than they did in map number 1. And again, it begs the question, why haven't they played Nuke more? Like, they look more comfortable. They look more fluid. They look better significantly on this map. The aim even looks better. And that's something like if you're comfortable on a map, you're going to aim better psychologically. There's not a lot of physical difference to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Most of the difference lies in the mental. And if you like a map, you are going to play better on it. And they look like they are liking this map a lot more. The individuals, 3 kills with the Deagles, that's a very good response, a very good result. That's some great damage. And yes, they were able to buy up. It's a little bit broken. There is no defuse kit. But at least they're making this one a lot closer. They're putting pressure on Bravado. There's a nice fight. Dry swing by Sheer. Goes against Wilj and wins it.
That was a sore point. That was what gave Bravado the inroads before, that lurking ramp all alone. This time it is unseated. Dizzy now reading the script perfectly. Knows what's happening in the outside yard. He goes for the peek, though. It's no flashes to support either. That gives SloWye the edge he needs. Ties it up at 4-piece, albeit while taking a lot of damage. Ruben takes up the exact spot Dizzy held before. Will Triton expect a player down towards Secret? That's the question. He's going to cross, but the smokes fade at the wrong time. And so he cannot commit all the way towards Secret. He'll fall back towards the athlete named Africa. So 4 versus 4 as Bravado quickly transition into this A site take.
Triton spots the elbow. That's some good information. Doru knows. Dyvo goes down to March. Triton clears out Ruben and Mini. There is still a player towards second. Vents. Wipeout actually doubles up on that one. That's not bad at all. SloWye low on health too. Sheer, half HP from that early engagement, but could shut down the bomb plant and go into a very one-on-one situation with the op. That op a one shot. In terms of
what a good read. What
That's
a good
great
read. That player towards Hut could have pushed through and stopped the bomb plant and won the round because of it. Bravado instead double up, push down the vents, go to decon, and guarantee themselves a plant and setup instead. Makes things far more difficult for Sheer. Sheer, sure, he's the top frag. He's the shining star for VYBN. What a 1v2 with a setup like this from Bravado seems like a near impossible scenario. He'll walk out of the control room. He's looking for the player top behind Silo. He finds the first, a big one to find, but now he has to find the second. He has no idea where he's lurking. What a flick from Sheer, and I believe he has enough time as well. No kit, it could have been a factor, but when he wins a duel as decisively as that, he has no worries in the world. What a 1 versus 2 clutch from Sheer. He'll grab the op as well for his troubles, and the individuals on VYBN are waking up on Nuke.
Tad premature on that decon swing in the 1v1, but Sheer, the poise under pressure to close that one out. Great work from the sub. Top of the scoreboard. Actually, as a whole, top of the scoreboard. Another tack pause used by VYBN, definitely to make sure they're not vibing too hard, because after that clutch, Sheer's got to be screaming. Heartbeat is racing. Let him cool things down a little bit. Get back into the right mindset. Back into the game. 6-7 VYBN looking for a half lead going into half number 2, map number 2. If we do go all the way to 3, Vertigo is our decider. That does seem like a long way off still, Nate. Bravado, they get the CT side next. They've already got 7 on their attack. The only thing is, if they lose this round, they're essentially broke.
Yes, they are. They've shown us a plethora of strategy on the CT side. I'm expecting a very admirable defense as well, and that is a quick adjustment. SloWye getting aggressive with the op towards Hut. Drops 1. That's the opping counterpart. That's Ruben taken out of the round immediately. And a big one to find. Now they can go down vents slowly and for free. Silently as well, might I add, as Wilj slinks down below. He should be able to blindside Wipeout here, furthering the lead if he heads in that direction, but he does not. Izzy in the yard and Wipeout towards Secret. This is a very potent double up, and the M4 sees many, but it can't get the shot cleanly. It will fall back. Wilj, in the meanwhile, does drop Sheer. Triton trades out Wipeout. dyvo, how is he flanked all the way through? He's up towards top. Marshmallow, he's found one. He's tapping away for a second, but shots aren't connecting. Bomb? Is the bomb dropped? It is. That is a big boon. dyvo can't afford to let that one fall into their hands, and so he's trying his darndest to challenge, but he'll actually give it up after securing a more advanced position towards Mini.
Wilj still has that flank on. They have to know he's around. Second vents, Wilj, dyvo, second vents. Neither player will see the other. Bomb will be recovered as Wilj will discover outside is cleared. 30 seconds on the clock. Dangerous situation for Bravado to be in. dyvo. Played Dizzy, however, gets destroyed. They're walking into dyvo. Do they clear second? 2 players, 1 shot. He sprays early, he sprays hard, and he only gets 2. We got the dink, but not the kill. The A1S not good enough. That's heartbreak. So well played overall by dyvo. Just came up short right at the very end.
The micro plays from VYBN have been immaculate. That play down below, I believe that was from Sheer, the 3K that I mentioned before that tried to break down a little bit there. That play from dyvo, flanking up towards Marshmallow, desperately trying to hold on to the bomb, and then rightfully and smartly giving it up to go back vents, old vents. I'm not sure how he found the timing there, but he got right by Wilj. He has such a commanding position. And you have to wonder if he holds his shot for a couple seconds longer and waits till they run further into the site, what might have happened. Because if he did that, he might have been able to see 2 more quickly, get the 3rd as well in the moment of surprise, and that could have been VYBN stealing away the round in a 1 versus 3.
It also could have been clear by the second player or utility. So there's 2 different ideas there. I do think that, in theory, holding the nerve for at least that second guy to walk by would have been the logical decision. But I can see where he's coming from, too. He's kind of in a one and done, and they're bound to clear it, right? Somebody's bound to clear the A.
You'd think, but
second guy.
I feel like they assumed it was just clear. I just think the positioning was so good, but you can only make conjectures to what could have been. This final round of the half is looking to be a quick one for Bravados. They race into the A site. They find so many kills, and it leaves just Sheer as the dust settles in a 1 versus 4 with just a deagle in hand.
Nothing but a deagle. Big iron on the hip. 4 kills to find in time. Not on his side. Another smoke used in towards Mini. Sprays going away. Through and deagle spam not coming up with the kill. Wilj on the sidearm gets the final frag. Bravado up by 3 as we head into half number 2.
Hey Future Pros! Locking down mid as a CT can put you in a good spot in a round of Ancient. So let's check out the smoke incendiary combo that the Chad Sponge Birchall likes to throw. Get into the middle of the doorway just before the stairs. Aim to the vines at the extended leafy bit and throw your smoke. Then quickly position your crosshair at the tip of this leaf and walk forward and throw the incendiary instantly. These nades will surely make the T's mad and make them hopefully respect the util. If you want to change it up, you can also throw your incendiary at the same smoke lineup for a deep coverage of the elbow area. Good luck holding mid and make sure to throw your nades fast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map 2 in this best of 3 series, far more contentious than map number 1. VYBN are feeling the vibes here on Nuke, and they're looking to carry over some sort of momentum into half number 2, the T side, the harder side of Nuke. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs. And Boggs, VYBN have looked a lot better. The individuals are awake. Sheer and dyvo are at 14 a pop. They are the top for their team. Wilj a little bit above on the Bravado side at 16, but overall, this has been a contentious game through and through.
A very contentious game through and through. Leads going back and forth, but settling in the favor of Bravado. VYBN, it's going to be a very tough road back in on T-side Nuke. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's very difficult, and they're going to have to try and get this one back, but the pistol round is where it all starts. They're flawless on pistol round so far, Nate, so they do have that advantage going for them. 3 pistols, 3 wins. They were finally able to convert on their CT side of Nuke, but T-side Nuke is a different animal entirely. And if they cannot master it, if they can't ride it like a bantha, they're not going to be able to do it.
They are not. I also want to highlight the fact that Bravado specifically, they were kind of hamstrung on their T side. VYBN were always able to do damage regardless of weaponry in hand. If they can continue to do so in the second half, the CT side is going to feel the hurt. They're going to be on MP9s and FAMASas more often than not because of all the damage done. So Bravado, the pressure's on them early. Win rounds, and when you win them, keep them clean to keep that CT economy up, because if not, things are going to be scrappy for them throughout the half. Dooley's towards the door for SloWye. He finds 2, he finds 3! And Bravado don't want to let all 4 pistol rounds slip away. dyvo will find 2 in response, but March is there to cover for his teammates, to trade for his teammates, I should say. It leaves Ruben, the Opera, with a Glock in hand, and Triton beheads him immediately. It is Bravado at long last to prevail in a pistol round. They secure a 10th. And not a moment too soon, because this map definitely did look doable for VYBN.
It really did. And VYBN made a case for it, especially in the early going. I think it was, what, 5-3, the lead that they had on CT. It's like, all right, cool. It's not great, but it's still on par for a solid half. And then Bravado were able to turn it around, get back into something positive. VYBN unable to really get any sort of recovery happening. Wilj looking for it, looking for the damage. Outside with an MP9. Not exactly the angle you want to be holding with the SMG, but you can still get some damage done. Very good in the mid-range, all things considered, the MP9s. And SloWye's actually the one to get that first. Very far removed in garage, letting his teammates fight up close and personal. Farm up that money, just providing some artillery support from behind. 3 kills going the way of Bravado. A deagle will not find a mark, leaving it all up to the Glock on Sheer. The lurker in towards ramp. For March is going to introduce him to the Ides.
That was a good one. I was not expecting that, Box. Ides of March. I didn't think we get that kind of reference in this one. But I'd say it's certainly an apt metaphor for that round. Bravado playing aggressive with MP9s in the outside yard. You mentioned it's probably not an angle they're so inclined to take, but I'm sure they were definitely banking on the outdoor fight behind red rather than the long-range duel that the A1S took. Either way, they keep it clean. Bravado exactly what you want to see from them. And VYBN, they do have rifles on the board here, with AKs across the board, but still have a lot to do. March starts things off right. The MP9, death by 1,000 cuts, drops dyvo towards trophy early on, and Bravado pick up the opening and the advantage despite the subpar weaponry.
Oh, it's now 4v4, and March is very low. Things are starting to go a little bit more to the favor of VYBN. Much more slow and methodical. Timing's everything here for SloWye. SloWye can ruin their day. Does just that with the kill into wipeout, allowing March to reposition behind the smoke too. VYBN, they take it too slow. They're too cautious. They're too apprehensive. A little bit more speed, and they can bust through the defenses before SloWye can come in and help. Instead, Wilj now has an opportunity, but demolished by Sheer. Heating up again is Sheer. Down the vents, they'll drop. Is there a sound cue? Is there anyone down here? March is so low on health. Can't really afford to fight this. Just kind of go for info plays. Spots the cross. That's got to signal rotations. That's about all March can do.
I was going to say we need to see more decisive play from VYBN, and we get it. They come out the doors as a duo. They drop down the vents immediately. That's the kind of decisiveness we need to see. SloWye, though, very timely on the flank, is only good for 1. Solid spacing for Ruben to trade his teammate. 2 versus 2. And again, as you mentioned, March is low on HP. He's beheaded by Dizzy through the window. It leaves just Doru at the doors, swinging them open, looking for both. He knows where they were, roughly speaking, and he'll find the first, but he still needs the second, and there's about a quarter of time left on the bomb. He's going to run forward. The Molotov seals the round. No doubt. Doru not even going to try to take the fight. He's going to fall away. He will get the kill on the fadeaway, but that doesn't change the outcome. VYBN take the first rifle round, albeit at a hefty cost of all 5 players. Doru only slimly survives. Bravado, lucky that they won the second round cleanly, because it allows them to buy in this one.
By very critical to this stage of the game is VYBN are still in this one. This one's not over by any means of the imagination. It's still decently up in the air, especially if VYBN can string a few rounds together here. Throw Bravado's economy into a very turbulent time. There's opportunities for VYBN. Wilj gets into secret. But I don't know if it necessarily is a secret that he's there. Off over top. SloWye has an idea, just barely shooting too early. Secondary flash ready to go high. It's the more deep smoke, or shallow, I should say. The deep one's closer to mini, but Wilj holding in secret. Flash over as well. Allows him to peek for the next. 2 kills go in the way of Wilj. SloWye still here. Wilj finally removed, but that bomb sitting in that wide open gap in the outer yard. Eyes are on it for Bravado. He's got an idea to on the backside as well in the form of wipeout. Timing though for dyvo. The opportunity. This is the chance. This is what VYBN need to grasp at the straws and take this one back. A miss opportunity. Wipeout on a Mac 10, last man alive. All the noise has been made. And SloWye does not actually take the opportunity to punish. There. What?
SloWye got the kill!
Through credit card? What?
Can you wallbang through that box? There's no way!
Apparently.
How did he get that kill?
Huh?
I'm flummoxed. We're going to see if we can get a replay. I don't know if we actually have had replays too often in this game, but that deserves it. I am confused. I'm perplexed on that one. I did not know that that was possible.
Oh, learn something new every day, I guess. Wow.
Innovating on an age-old map of Nuke. And that sends VYBN reeling. We mentioned it. It was a scorched earth victory in the round before, and not even a bomb plant in the following. That sends them back to pistols. 2 Deagles, a P250, and some Glocks. Bravado only need 4 more to close this out in 2-0 fashion, and they have definitely stabilized on this CT side. Wilj drops Ruben. And the Deagle towards Africa can't connect either. Player top mini expected. It's a farm for Wilj. Looking to get a frag highlight, a frag montage. It's just Sheer left. Again, Sheer has been hot in this one, but a 1 versus 5 seems like too much to ask.
It is.
And it is.
It's a nice easy farm for Wilj. Pad those stats a little bit. 24 and 13. dyvo and Sheer doing it all over on VYBN. VYBN need a little bit more. They need a little more juice. Running out of power. Battery's getting low. Something to boost it. Now Bravado can really just get stuck in here on this defense. They can just relax, enjoy the ride, let VYBN come to them, win the aim duels, get some no-scope wall bangs through credit card, you know, the usual stuff that always happens on Nuke. And now Wilj is actually going to jump on top of Garage. You don't see this angle all too often. It's usually like a one-time, one-off deal. Does not have any support, does he? I think he's kind of alone. I don't know if there's a Heaven player to flash for him, but looks like Wilj is kind of just doing this all on his lonesome and does not overstay his welcome. That's a good decision.
We've seen a lot of plays top credit card top of the Garage in this one thus far. I think we've seen like 4 times. Saw the boost up come in for VYBN at one point. We've seen the op jump up multiple times for the Bravado CT side, and now we're seeing Wilj do it as he finds a double over top the smokes. That is a big hero play from him. The op of SloWye now has a big gap as well. Dizzy tries to cross it treacherously, and again another wallbang from the op drops Sheer to 13. And the round at this point feels irrecoverable for these final pair of players. Wipeout on low HP, Sheer as well hanging on for dear life. Both fall without incident. And I said VYBN had a chance if they made these rounds expensive and difficult at the very least, and they are not succeeding in that endeavor whatsoever. It's a clean and flawless one for Bravado as they secure penultimate series point, 14-7.
Doubling up on VYBN, looking to kick this one at overdrive. That smoke gap was just a small part of the problem in that round for VYBN. It solidified the end, but it did not spell the end. The fact there was no reaction, kills coming from up top of credit card, that was really the main problem for VYBN in that round. No adjustment made, and it's getting real ugly for VYBN. Their chances are slipping quickly away. Pistols in hand, all they can use. SloWye's already dealt with the first. Wilj should have the next. The shadow gives away the position of Sheer. Wipeout does grab one on the clock at the very least, and upgrades to an M4. SloWye misses that first op shot. There is ground to be gained here, but Dizzy falls to Triton. This should, again, stabilize things for Bravado here. SloWye falls, but she does not. The little jump was a good idea, just not enough to throw off the aim of the opper.
Definitely not dyvo alone. Not a chance in the world. Triton takes him from the side. SloWye at 23, Wilj at 28, approaching 30. That was the performance I was expecting to see from him. And 15-7. VYBN need 8 rounds in a row to stay alive, to bring it to overtime. And to say that's a tall task might be an understatement. Might undersell how hard that would be on the B side of Nuke. Ruben has his op in hand. He has some Kevlar to back it up. No helmet, which means he's very fragile to the M4s. And again, Bravado have once more looked head and shoulders above their opponents on the second half of Nuke.
Wipeout's blinded, but Wilj peeks a little bit too early. Able to escape was Wipeout. Sheer there as well. Double swing out. First kill goes the way of VYBN, and they actually go 2 for 1 here. Bringing this back to now a 3v2 as dyvo dry swings Doru and puts one through the cranium. March will wait for that molly. Actually, I don't think the molly really blooms there. March should be able to get up top. And SloWye still working outside. Spots out one. Does he have another one? No, not this time. He's surely not this time.
He wants more clips. He's gotten 2 wall bangs already. He's looking for more. Won't secure it that time. They actually line up. Very lucky not to fall SloWye. Ruben, this is the second as well. Opportunity, but no, he's too focused in. Neglects the possibility of Sheer lurking towards Mini. VYBN do stay alive. 2 players survive. The economy of Bravado, a little bit low on a player or 2, but they can more than soak up those issues. They will drop rifles for each other. The economy is relatively low, though. If VYBN can hold off for another round to make this one expensive, they might be able to force Bravado onto a save.
Seven in a row required would be 8 total for VYBN to pull this all the way back. It's a very long road, but it's about making it competitive at the end of the day. Not going quietly into the night, sign of good team mentality. Ruben thinks better of the peak. Slow and steady towards red. SloWye, does he... that's a nice little peek. That could have been a double on to SloWye if they would have had the extra extension from Ruben, who stays rooted to the spot. SloWye still holding outside. There's the capitalization. Wilj falls in the meantime. Oh, Sheer runs right into Triton. That's an ugly fight for both players. And Doru now comes up 1 for 1. Triton trying to clutch this one out. Needs the 3-piece. Has 1 of 2 required in the 1v2. Bomb just to his left if he walks on through squeaky door.
Does a sound drop or not? Triton caught, Wipeout secures the round in favor of VYBN. they do stay alive, and as I mentioned, this should be a save from Bravado. They might have bought themselves some extra time, VYBN. They can begin now to close the gap between them and their adversaries. And Boggs, I did get some inside information. Dyvo is the pronunciation. And Doru is also Dory, if you want to go for that. Again, a lot of these players were unknowns to us, so we were kind of just rolling with whatever we thought was right. Bravado pistols, as I mentioned, we've seen them get deadly with them, but instead of the deagles across the board, it is a random amalgamation of 5.7 CZs, P250s, and of course the one Deeg for Triton. It will be a delayed lobby crunch through Hut as the call Wipeout wipes them all out. 2 and 3. Sheer covers him for the 4th. Actually, it was 2 and 2. Sheer finds 2, Wipeout finds 2. It leaves just SloWye. He's towards the door inside the lobby. But they know he's here. He's caught. The CZ can't find the headshot. And so, we do see VYBN breach the double-digit threshold, 10 to 15, still trailing again by 5, which is a hefty number to trail by at this stage, but they have made it far more contentious than you might expect.
Indeed. Significantly more contentious than that first map, which was over before you blinked. A technical pause has been called. So we'll try and figure out what exactly is going on here. Not sure what the issue is precisely. No news as of yet.
Hopefully it's brief.
Yeah. Same as the last time. FPS bug. And if you've experienced it before, you know how annoying it is.
They caught it at the start of the round, right? They caught it here. Better than it happening in the middle of the round when you can't restart.
Still might have to restart, though. We'll see.
Might have to restart, but like it's better than running around and suddenly being caught, you know? Like so much better.
Then mid-round, or like in the middle of a gunfight, all of a sudden your FPS drops to 12. Oof.
Exactly. No choice but to just open console in the middle of an active round and try to run one of those commands in hopes that it fixes it.
Which it might not, because it hasn't necessarily worked consistently since
forever.
A few months.
Yeah, exactly.
How is the FPS? I guess I can't complain about the FPS bug anymore, knowing that they're working on CS2.
Yeah, all of their, you know, from what I've heard stories about the turnaround time in Counter-Strike. The game is built upon the mod engine, etc. So it takes a lot longer to fix these kinds of bugs. For CS2, it's supposedly worked from the ground up, so that any issue like that should be fixed like that in a snap. So hoping for CS2, A, it doesn't exist to begin with, and B, if it does, it gets fixed immediately. Yeah, looks like we don't require a round reset. So we don't have that round reset either. Yeah, it's great. Of course we're excited for CS2. When is it coming out? It's summer, right?
It's summer. I think it's mid to late summer, so probably July, August.
Oh, so long. So long. But that's just conjecture. Hopefully it comes through. We are back into the action. And it is a bye for both teams. SloWye has the op, as does Ruben. The utility for Bravado leaves me wanting, and Boggs leaves you wanting as well. There's no kit on this CT side.
Nobody taking the hit from Moss for a kit. They're relying entirely on firepower, which I can't say I blame Bravado necessarily, given how they've been so far. Does Wilj have a gap? No, it's all up to SloWye. That's a good shot. Good course correction on that entry onto Dizzy. Wipeout trying to engage with Wilj out in garage. Ruben coming back up the stairs as well. Wilj eating all those shots and somehow still alive. Bravado still working with the man advantage. But SloWye's got a lot of work to do. 3 players down his direction. 1 and 2 and 3. Make it 4. They feed him 1 by 1. SloWye is not living up to his name. Being quite quick with those flicks. 1 away from a 30 bomb. An ace to the 30 would be a way to close out the map.
It would be. I thought Wilj would be the one to secure the 30, but instead it looks like it might be SloWye. They're battling for first at this stage. I don't see a world where Wipeout can secure a 1 versus 5. He has no bomb. He has nothing. SloWye with the USP for a little bit of flair secures the round 16-10 in favor of Bravado. He steals away the title of top frag from Wilj, and he cements this series as a 2-0 in favor of Bravado.
That was not as smooth as Ancient was.